This podcast may contain offensive content. You have been warned. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diecast podcast. Dragon Echoes, the last one of the year, the last one of the season. We'll see how this all goes. We had our climactic double dragon fight at the end where we had a silver dragon, we had a time dragon, we had disintegrates, we had spells going off, we had demons and Doug and paladins all going ham on each other.
Oh my.
And as the DM woefully forgot that certain sorcerers had hold monster and absolutely destroyed everything in the process. A great fight, great encounter. As we now come to possibly the conclusion, as we now find ourselves in this giant crystal chamber where apparently some of the crystals were pulling the souls of our Harangon twins together. A partially bisected Obanus lies at your feet. You can see gigantic cracks, almost like when ice begins to melt on the lake, just like these big, almost bone sickening cracks, like of the floor beginning to spark up. And you see where the big crack in the central crystal has happened, little shards of crystal are falling off. And I'm actually going to say, give me either a perception check or Arcana. If you do Arcana, you get advantage on this roll.
Well, do I want a +8 or a +0 with advantage? Oh, well.
I got 11.
I also got 11.
Did you roll Arcana, Mia?
I did, yeah.
You get to roll 2 dice and take the best.
Okay. Yeah.
21 Arcana.
21 Arcana.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. 11.
11.
A 17 perception.
You just need 16 or higher. For Melody and Alethra, you actually recognize the makeup of the crystal. You've actually seen this a couple of times before. It lands on the ground. It's almost got like a round kind of oblong softball shape, but it's got a very strange chromatic, almost like kaleidoscope look to its coloration. But you've seen these crystals used before by Obanus in your first encounter when he had a bunch of spells that were just kind of operating on their own. And by the second Obanus, who tossed the Dracahorn sound crystal and did the illusory sound of the Dracahorn. It's a different sort of color, but you recognize the size and shape and kind of like magical pulse coming off of it.
How large is this?
It's like the size of a softball.
Okay.
The piece that fell off.
Yes.
The pieces that are standing upright are huge.
Are huge, yeah.
But they're made up of many little...
It looks like that pieces? When you broke the shield and started attacking the crystal, you've put giant fissures into the side, and they're kind of like, as crystal is brittle, begins to crumble and fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they're all different sizes if they come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to destroy all 3 of these, right? Or is this whole place coming down?
You see Alondra go like, and you look up and you see more kind of like spiderweb cracks forming the ceiling, and the portal is still open behind you. She says, I think this place is coming down.
We need to go.
Should we take some of these little softball pieces?
I don't think we should bring anything of Obanus
right,
anywhere. If this place is getting destroyed, let it destroy itself.
Right, let's go.
Yeah, let's get out of here. He got what he deserved.
I didn't even use the full power of Doug. I must be very strong.
You were brilliant.
Like, out we go. And he picks up both Harmony and Melody
Whee!
under each arm.
Flopping about. But why was it trying to steal our souls?
I'm gonna, Alethra's gonna roll a sleight of hand to take one of these.
You have advantage because everyone's on their way out.
Okay, but my passive perception is 23.
Yes, you just got to beat 23.
Well,
I am making sure the team comes with.
I legit have to roll a 20 to get 23.
Go for it, sunshine. Let's see.
No, that's a 12.
Drop it.
Listen, it's a
Drop it.
important. We don't know what it could do, and also
Exactly.
there is an Urbanus in our reality that this could help us with.
Fine.
I'm a little curious myself.
One crystal.
Just one crystal. I don't like this.
Yeah,
Just the one little
just one
softball-sized
little
crystal.
softball size. It's
Just-
fine.
It's just one tiny wafer.
It's just a wee little thing.
As you
We
all,
can just always destroy it later.
as you all come running out, you begin to see the portal doesn't close in a traditional portal sense, like it doesn't like collapse on itself. It kind of almost like fades out, like almost like a screen, like an image fading off of like an LED screen. They're just kind of like and just fades, and you see the wall that was supporting it behind it.
What's an LED screen?
For the viewers out there,
Was that a pocket dimension? Or was that...
you see Alondra say, I don't think it was a pocket dimension, or the portable hole
Would have... Yeah.
It
No,
defi-
you mean the bag.
the
bag of holding.
the bag of holding would have let us know that it was a pocket dimension.
So where was that place?
I'll give a history roll to see if I know.
History or Arcana, your choice.
Well, it's definitely history with the Lethros stats.
There's the 20.
There's the 20. That's the 20 I needed before. It's 27.
And get yourself a point of inspiration if you haven't yet. You have actually, in your research about Zonthal and Acererak, you know that in Zonthal's quest to unify himself, he actually found kind of this world between worlds of planes where he could operate and create these crystals to like pull and unify souls into one being. And you get the feeling that he didn't create it, but he was definitely using an unknown spot on the map.
His own little private loophole.
I don't think what's his name?
Zonthal.
Zonthal and Obanus are the same person.
No,
right?
we did some deduction on that earlier.
Right. I'm really tired.
Yeah.
Why did it only want our souls?
Also, we're back in Sigil. We need to move.
Yes.
Oh, yes, that's a hop to.
We're also back in time. So yeah, how does
Oh yeah.
You are actually, you are technically back 3 days in time.
in sigil time. Which is also a wonky time situation.
So we're not wanted yet.
No, we are not wanted currently, but we do have doppelgangers in the city right now.
So we can't go to Chilithids.
No, they are definitely at Chilithids right now.
And then you're going to be going to the Silver Bullet
After Chilithids.
after Chilithids.
We can't be there either because we've already been there.
You've already-
But at the same time, which means that.
But we're not the ones passing ourselves at the Silver Bullet. We're a third group.
But we arrived the same day that we were here before.
Oh my god.
Stupid Sigil's so bad. Okay.
Well-
Alondra like puts her hand on her shoulder. Like, sometimes it's best not to overthink. Just let
Says
time
the
happen.
mathematician.
Yeah. I was going to say, don't do the math on that one.
Speaking of overthinking, do we now need to fake the appearances that Obanus had in our dreams to lead us to this moment to kill Obanus, and therefore we just killed an innocent man?
You see Alondra.
Oh, he wasn't innocent.
So here's the thing about Sigil is we have definitely created an alternate timeline, but Sigil is also the biggest thread with many different fates and timelines and realities weaving into one spot. So as long as they all kind of like coalesce into the same spot, this is the perfect place to do it. If we did in the material realm or the fire plane or good lord, the Feywild, where chaos will just unravel everything, I'd be a bit more cautious, but there's a reason why I took everyone to Sigil first, because it's kind of like an anchor.
I do miss home sometimes.
I do too. All the chaos.
It's beautiful chaos.
Anyways, I guess we should go resuscitate a dragon.
I mean, like I can take us to.
Do you want to build a dragon?
Doesn't have to be a dragon.
Doesn't it just a bone?
I've got a bone.
It only has to be a bone.
Just like undead Obanus. Okay, fine.
fine.
You see Alondra say, I can actually take us back to literally moments before we left in Waterdeep.
So should we go to Menzies' lair or should we go to the palace?
I'd say go to the palace, because if we go back to Menzies' lair, we will run into Obanus again.
We don't want that.
and those events do need to happen because
Wait, that was Obanus who took Menzies, who was killing.
that was your reality's Obanus.
Right. Jesus. Okay.
Timey-wimey stuff.
Really messy.
Time is a flat soup.
I try not to think
if
about
I
it too
recall
much.
correctly, in real life, we did leave right from Menzerstra's lair
Yes.
to Sigil.
Yes.
So we haven't been back to Waterdeep
You've
since
not been
episode
back,
1 of this season, anyway.
Do you think of life like episodes?
I think of them in 2-hour chunks.
As a time dragon, that's the best way to understand it.
Yeah.
She says, well, I can take you back to Waterdeep. We can go back to the lair. We can go back to the Empress of Storms.
I'm just wondering if we should use his layer to gather the most energy to bring him back. I don't know if that would help. You know more than me about that.
Well, we have 2 holy people that can perform the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Aha, I'm full of holes.
Super holy. I totally forgot my god last
yeah,
episode.
he like elbows Aletha like, that's a religious joke.
Very good.
Are we
yes.
bringing him back to our reality?
Ooh.
Because one of him already exists.
One of him already does exist, but he kind of sucks now.
Yeah, this is one's much better.
Oh, am I a vacuum in that reality?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
a vacuum of
You suck.
happiness.
You do suck.
Well, more. It's not so much. Some bad things have happened to you in our reality. It might be better if you don't come back. I hadn't thought about this problem yet.
Why don't we get rid of the other one and bring this one? This one's much cooler.
You are
Yeah, but he would still have to deal with all the other stuff that the bad one has done.
you are currently tinkering with the whole next volume of Tales from Troll.
Yeah, tread lightly, says the DM.
Whatever you decide, but there are going to be Onthar related consequences.
I mean, I love the idea of an episode titled Onthar related consequences.
You write that one down.
Yeah.
Um.
I mean, should we leave it up to him?
Well, considering one of us is at least a little bit of a scholar of time and realities, Alondra, what would be the consequences of having 2 Onthar Frooms in Faerun?
Well, honestly, from a time perspective, not a whole lot. From a reality perspective, that's kind of outside my field of expertise. I mean,
Of course it is.
I'm a time dragon. I'm not a.
Yeah. Reality dragons are different.
Oh, they're very different.
Imagine dragon.
Dear readers, we've had some donuts. And
I get to bite into mine, so my sugar high is going to kick in at some point. She says, I mean, as far as I can tell by what I've seen through the timelines and the math and predictions that I've done, is that he's not going to uncork a wish spell, so he should be fine. It's the wish spells that are going to be, oh, by the way, you will need to kind of limit how many wish spells you really want to uncork in that reality, because that was the big one. Small time wishes, good. You know, hey, I need a turkey sandwich. Perfect wish spell. Hey, I need to cast fireball. Perfect wish spell. Hey, can we change the alternate fate of this child into becoming a world leader in Faerun? That's a reality breaking one.
right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I for one will never ever cast the wish spell, so I'm not too worried there.
Well, you have a scroll of it.
I do.
My sister does, yes.
Well.
Also,
true.
We
don't
might
don't
not
use that scroll. That is so dangerous if that messes up your like spell scrolls that blow up in your face are bad. The wish spell blowing up in your face is also equally bad.
Well, I think I have to figure out what the ultimate purpose is in that sense.
Also, I created a table to roll on if it blows up in your face.
How thoughtful.
It's very good.
I'm not going to lie. There is I'm going to say this in my head to you. There's a chunk of me that just wants to fucking wish for a sandwich and now let it be and not have this responsibility on my head anymore.
Or just like endless carrot cake.
Oh my God. Well, endless
Constantly
would mess with
fresh.
time and reality.
Oh,
would
I
it
guess
not?
you're right. A good recipe for a carrot.
But I couldn't wish for the best carrot cake because then when it was gone, that would be it.
You'd be chasing that dragon.
I'd be chasing that dragon, literally. Echoes of a dragon, carrot dragon.
I really
All
And
the
then-
rest of the characters are
then the
looking at you
addiction
on a
started.
thought
We slowly turn to each other and we're just like staring and
Yeah.
you're all like,
We're just
The
looking at you
fuck?
guys like, what?
anyways.
Something's going on
really
there.
don't think that's the greater purpose, though, sister.
I know.
You see Anthar pop up and he's like, well, I mean, where's Meraxis going? I'll probably go that way.
Oh.
Rex just blushes, just goes deep red. I haven't
Steam
really
coming off her.
haven't really thought of that.
Where are you going to go
Ah.
next?
Let him come back with us. Let's bring him home. We can deal with whatever happens afterwards. We
We
just
could-
killed a massive time wizard and saved a dragon from another reality.
Just put a cloak on him. Nobody will notice.
Yeah.
I
You've
already
got
have a
this-
cloak.
You've got disguise.
Perfect.
I do, yes.
You could disguise him as another dragonborn. Maybe a very handsome one.
Stop doing that.
Sorry.
Stop giving me the eyes.
No.
I will point out though that while Anthar has many gifts, being anyone else is not one of them.
It's true. I am the best me.
You really are the best, you actually. Yeah.
True.
So I'm not against it, Anthar. Obviously, you have been a stalwart companion, but I suppose just know that if you're to come back in our 416-3 reality, there is somebody who looks a lot like you, but has had a much rougher go.
Well, then I'll just have to talk to him and show him the error of his ways.
I don't think you're supposed to
I
interact.
don't think you
Yeah.
should talk to him at all, actually.
You
It
should
doesn't,
avoid
it doesn't
him.
work like that.
As someone who's built his entire purpose in life on following the rules, hanging out with all of you, breaking the rules is fun sometimes.
Oh,
Sure, but this is one rule
I've always
that we
wanted to be a
wouldn't want to break.
bad influence, though.
Oh, I know, my sister. I'm
Right.
usually the bad one.
It might be worth a shot. I mean, the Anthar that we know has, well, from the stories I heard, has fallen quite far. Maybe a refresher from his past could change his future path.
It
Was
worked
the
for
Anthar
Scrooge.
that you knew, because we're not from your area, was the
No,
Anthar
I've
there?
never met him either.
But that's what I'm saying. Was he like this one and then fell that far? Or is this just the ultimate positive version?
I don't remember him being.
Jolly?
Yeah, the stories I read of him were not this funny.
DM has any of us? I guess none of us have run into him, right?
Mm-mm. Absolutely not.
No.
Although back in season 1 and 2, Anthar was this jolly.
I feel like it wasn't this jolly.
Well, it's before the Dragon War happened.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
And then Elturel blew up, and then he lost his prodigy son, and then had to go to Chilled on like a Hearts of Darkness journey and tried to kill himself after fighting the undead, and realized he's such a strong paladin, he can't kill himself with the undead, and came back in shame and killed a lot of paladins and got his title revoked. So
He had a son.
Oof. His
Yeah.
prodigy.
prodigy,
Oh, prodigy son.
Yeah.
Okay.
and he got his title stripped away and became just a figurehead for ceremony. And then he, the corruptive whispers of dark plague gods.
And characters evolve over time. It's
So we just don't let anything like that happen to this Anthar, and we keep them far away from each other. And
Yeah, I think Waterdeep's pretty stable at this point,
Yeah.
right? There's not really anything going on. He'll probably be fine.
And I already know the city.
Yeah.
all right. But that still leaves us with the question of where should we resurrect a dragon? And I wonder if Waterdeep is maybe not the most discreet place to do that.
I mean, if we brought it back to, well, I don't know if we want to do it right in front of his mother. I feel like we'd rather walk in with.
like, hey, Mum, here's a bone.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think that's a good idea.
Also, if we resurrect this dragon, what memories is he going to have?
I'm going to assume his original memories.
It should be his original memories. And let's not forget, the Empress of Storms is a very ancient and lived being that I don't think she'd be upset. Like we're
This wouldn't
literally
freak her out.
we're literally accomplishing her goals.
But in a little bit of a sideways manner.
Yeah.
It's a sideways manner, but I think the thing is, if we play the time manipulation right, we will literally do it as soon as she asks us. And if there's one thing people over the age of 600 appreciate is efficiency and time.
I mean,
That's amazing. So we're going to walk out, be like, yeah, we'll go get your son. Be right back. Oh, we're back. Here's a bone. Watch this. And then her son. So in that moment, she will know that her son had died because when we left her, she thought her son was still alive. And we were just going to have a conversation. But
Well, it'll require an explanation, but
yeah.
if we bring him back to life, I don't think she'll be mad at us.
Well, and I'm sure he'll
just
be
won't tell
a
her that
much
we
more
chopped him in
dutiful
half.
and loving son than the one from our reality.
Very possible.
and we have to also appreciate that he's come from a reality where he was fighting alongside his mother.
Yeah, and his
got
mother made the
killed.
ultimate sacrifice for him.
I just worry about the reaction of a very ancient dragon when we bring a dragon bone and not her alive son initially
Yeah, that's
back. It seems like
and just be
that's-
like, wait a minute.
That's the part I'm worried about.
Let's
too.
just step behind this curtain.
Just let
Yeah.
me work.
Well, I think
Let her cook. Let her cook.
Yeah, let her cook.
Mom.
Yeah, no, that's my worry as well. I mean, do
I
you
would
guys
feel
remember
much better.
The paintings.
Yeah, the paintings. The paintings.
Oh, yeah.
The fashion hall. The
sculptures.
sculptures. Yeah, I think we'd be much better off walking in with a live fucking dragon than
I agree. I
Okay, so
a bone.
That still leaves the question, though, where do we do this?
I mean, Menzies Lair is probably one of the best places to do it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
drop us off at
Right.
Menzies Lair
Yeah.
right after Obanus is fucked off. Right, we've all left.
And then we'll be in our own timeline. There won't be any doubles of us that we'll walk into in a shop or anything like that.
Where
No
did what's his
Albano.
nuts go?
I don't remember any nuts.
the escort we had.
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah, that guy.
And the portal maker.
Fucked right off, if I recall correctly.
Oh, you
Did he fight Obanus?
Did we leave them?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he-
did fight Obanus, and I think he went to go report what had happened.
They actually got memory wiped by
Oh.
by
That's-
Alondra,
They got neuralized.
Right.
Yeah. and then she took off with all of you. So
Perfect.
No.
They might even still be there.
I was going to say, are they just waiting outside being like,
well, I mean, if we play the time streams right, they will literally be there as soon as we leave.
well, what are the calculations then, girl? You've got to do it. Do it to it.
Like we're gonna head to Menzies Lair, time specific, lunch, afternoon, breakfast.
What time was
A
it?
meal would be nice.
I feel like we started the day
You did start the
and
day.
went there, and
was-
then the fight happened.
It was about lunches when you left the Menzies Lair.
Sure.
Say
So
1:30.
Just after
Right.
that.
everyone set their watches.
You see Alondra pull out her chalk and begins writing runes on the side of the wall. Let's see how her Arcana does.
Guidance.
Guidance.
The
Can we
D4.
do double guidance?
Because her rolls have traditionally been
Very badly.
Very
at this,
bad.
Yeah.
the D4. There's a D4.
Do you need a new set of dice?
Oh, there you go. That's a natural 20. Or, sorry, yes, 20 plus 4 plus that is 32.
Excellent.
Okay.
I'm going to say because of the natural 20, that counts as 2 successes. As you see her, she's found her groove. She's more confident. It's not under pressure in combat either, so she just has one more success.
Yeah, in fairness, almost every other time she's been under a little bit of
A little
pressure.
under duress.
We've all been under pressure.
Or like,
Under
Oh, and that is a 17.
I think her best was when she was doing it on a floating dragon.
Dead dragon, yeah.
Not dead, mostly
wasn't dead
dead.
yet.
Soon to be dead
Yeah.
dragon.
26, as you see her begin to finish the runes and you see the lights begin at the base of the floor and crawl up the side of this brick building in this back alley of Sigil, which has now seen a lot of time travel and a lot of portal work. It very Beetlejuicean kind of opens as the bricks kind of like interlace with each other and kind of open up, and you actually feel the whoosh of cold, damp air come washing in from Menzies Lair as you see Captain Tyr and his compatriot look through the portal and be like,
You stay
Hi.
there.
We're back.
Hello, long time no see.
No, very quickly.
Yes, I know it was a joke.
You're so funny.
Thank you. I try.
So who's going through the portal?
Oh, I'll hop
the
through.
bunnies will hop right through.
I think I've still got the bone.
You still do.
I
Alondra
think I
pops
have the
through.
bone, don't I?
Oh yeah, we
It's
put it in the bag.
Yeah.
Put it in the bag of bone.
Alondra and Onthar and everyone walks through, and you see Captain Tyr like, you just left like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now we're back.
Yep. Got what we needed. Here we go.
We're very efficient, I suppose.
Mhm.
So what? But I'm confused.
That's okay.
The less
Everyone's
you
a
know,
little
the better,
confused, yeah.
honestly.
Don't worry about it.
Trust me, we've got it worked out.
You see him kind of still doing like but
We're from the Feywild. Things are a little faster for us. So
yeah,
don't
we
worry
got
about
it
give me,
taken care
give me a
of.
persuasion check.
No problem. 19.
21.
Oh yeah, as the twin sisters begin to work on Captain Tyr, you seem like, chaos, fey energy. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Honestly.
Right? I thought so.
You see Alondra wink at the both of you, and you say, I think we just do the resurrection ceremony. Actually, this could be 2 time birds with 1 time stone.
How was that?
You use the wish spell for true resurrection.
Oh. And using it here, that won't mess.
It's not.
Because it realigns things if
It
we
realigns,
have.
and you're just using another spell. Like you're not breaking reality with it.
Okay. I pull out the scroll.
And as a DM, there is a risk associated with because you got to roll to use the scroll.
I am aware.
So roll me a d20 and add your intelligence modifier, please.
I mean, I can also do this since I have a much higher intelligence. But
I feel like harmony, like it was passed from harmony
fair
to
enough.
harmony.
Yeah, fair. We can also take guidance on this, though.
Guidance.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is the skill check.
I can finally use my guidance.
The most
All right,
stressful
Harmony.
roll.
Harmony sits down
You
and
also
rolls
might
out
have
the
an
scroll.
inspo to spend. I'm sure you do.
Well, there's inspirations around the table
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, true.
You can have my
Is
inspiration.
that a
Yeah, you
reroll
can have
or
my
an
It's
advantage?
a reroll. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Take my inspiration and my guidance. Sister.
Harmony's sitting and eyes closed. She's gone over the wish scroll and she's focusing so hard.
This is just to cast the scroll. I will get your wish spell afterwards.
19.
That's beats the DC of 10.
Oh, wow.
Can you just do me a favor and roll a d6?
Little bunny turd just popped right out.
Yeah.
It's tighter than
Don't
usual.
look. I rolled a 5.
Could you roll me a percentage dice, please?
Oh my god, stop.
No, this is just my own morbid curiosity.
Morbid. I hate
Just
this.
1 percentage die? No, I've got to do 2.
Yeah, for the hundreds.
Wow. I rolled 2 20s. That's
That's 22.
22.
Okay, you're okay. One of the options was that reality breaks and you get sent to another dimension.
Oh my god.
Oh. What would I have had
That's
to
a
roll?
Lethor classic.
It was 95% or higher.
Okay. 22.
None of it matters. So could you please issue your wish?
Okay, rewind. What? Pretend that I talked to Alondra and she told me what to say.
So essentially, you can use the wish spell to replicate casting any other spell without any components as an
Okay.
action.
Okay. And I'm doing a greater restoration?
A true,
True resurrection.
True resurrection. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure. Okay. I wish to cast a true resurrection spell on this bone.
You see the bone begin to fill up full of light. Could you actually, since your percentage dice are out, could you roll me a percentage dice as well? 33 or higher, please.
$52.
You can still cast the wish spell in the future.
No, I wanted to get rid of it.
This is good. We can save it.
Or
Okay.
is the scroll consumed by the spell or no?
The scroll is consumed by the spell,
Yeah.
but because you've cast the spell, you still have to see if you burn out the wish potential
Within you.
in you. So I'm going to let this open the table. Give me flair, give me drama, give me description. How does this true resurrection of a dragon bone
So
turn into
you're holding the bone.
Well, I'll
right?
hold out the bone, but as it starts to glow, I think it kind of raises to itself. I believe it was the femur
Yes.
of the leg because it was bigger.
It was a knuckle bone.
It was a knuckle
Oh, it was a
bone.
knuckle
knuckle
bone.
bone.
Okay.
So it's not
Big-
that.
so
Still.
It's big for
Yeah.
big for you guys.
Yeah.
I think
Like football size for you.
I think I step back and I reach out my hands so that we can form
Friendship
the
circle.
The friendship circle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too. So we all.
And then we'll watch as the knuckle bone like sprouts a claw and then plants itself in the earth. And up from that, bone by bone, almost as if it's pulling it out of reality, like the air, there's threads being flowing from it of light that's building each bone and weaving it all together into this skeleton. And we have to step farther and farther back, but we keep our hands out. And as the skeleton completes, then sinews of muscle wrap around the skeleton, and then skin, and then wings, and then eventually it's standing in front of us.
Eyes full of life.
You see this blue dragon reamass itself in the middle of their ceremony. And you see it's got lightning tears coming down its face as it gasps and goes, "Mother!" As it looks around and sees that it is in a lair, not too unfamiliar to itself. As it looks around and sees complete strangers, looks around, where am I? What's happened?
It's a bit of a long story, but you are safe and among allies.
What has happened in Waterdeep and the Thayans? Is my mother okay?
Your mother is okay. She's requested for you. I think a lot will be explained between the two of you, if you're willing to come with us.
Yes, absolutely. You see Alon say, "Well, here's where the normal magic happens," and you see her cast the portal to the Empress of Storm's lair. As you see, he whoosh comes down to a humanoid form to fit through the portal easier. And you see Captain Tyr and his compatriot just like jaws agape, like, "Gah."
Don't worry about it.
Feywild magic.
That is some mystical Feywild bullshit happening right now.
No, it always is.
I am never going to go there. As you all walk into the main throne room that has this big, expansive throne that looks out over the ocean, built into the side of a cliff, you see the Empress of Storms stand up with like her big 8-foot tall frame and like blue silks that come down to the ground that kind of act as pseudo wings. As she comes down, no words are said. It's just, you just feel the emotion in the room as you see Menzie and his mother just run towards each other and wrap their arms around each other. And you actually see tears coming down both of their face and like little sparks of lightning as they fall midair and hit on the floor.
So beautiful.
Oh shit, I'm gonna cry. I miss Mom.
You see the Empress Storms puts both of her hands on her son and looks to all of you and says, "Not only have you brought back my son, you've brought him back faster than I anticipated. Humanoids surprise me every single day. Consider your quest accomplished. Consider our agreement fulfilled. Also consider and ponder, I now all owe one of you one personal favor."
Each?
Yes.
Oh.
As well as, because I know humanoids love their wealth, you will now receive a pot of 500,000 gold pieces to split amongst all of you.
Oh
my goodness.
Truly life-changing amount of money.
Well, you have changed many lives today. It is a mere penance to what you've done for me today.
Thank you for entrusting us with this. I think we've all changed for the better because of it. And we're grateful that we could accomplish this.
You see this confident smile beam across her face, and you realize you've never seen dragons smile a whole lot. And she says, "You do not need to worry about the money. I will send an escorted caravan down to Waterdeep under the personal protection of my guard and Captain Tyr. Your money will be safe." And she actually hands out 3 blue sapphires to each of you. And she says, "Do not sell these. Just simply speak what you wish to have happen, and I will respond. Sapphires of communication is what you can write down.
I am very overjoyed at our reception. There is some.
Don't ruin it.
I'm not
Tread
ruining.
lightly. Tread
I'm
lightly.
Treading lightly.
I'm new here. This is all magical to me.
Gift dragon in the mouth.
We didn't really discuss this as a group, but I feel honesty and candor is the right way to approach our host. Can we all agree?
It is the best policy.
I don't think hiding anything from them would serve us in any sense. I think you're right.
So, Empress, we are delighted to return your son to you. But it is, I think, important that you know that there is another version of your son in this realm.
You see her kind of like nod in acknowledgement. Like, a mother knows. I'm well aware that my son is very likely have crossed over to the other side. And I don't think there was anything I could have done to convince him otherwise. But you have returned to me a son who is in need and is willing to work with family. Whatever the consequences of Minister Sierra's actions are, we will deal with them, and I will deal with them. If it goes south, I may request your help down the road. But I appreciate the honesty and I appreciate the candor that I know I chose the right people for the job. I consider you exalted among the humanoids.
Oh, that's quite an honor.
Exalted.
Yeah.
I just got here.
You were already exalted.
You
It's
were
fine.
already exalted,
Miraxus-
big man.
Miraxus turns to Onthar and it's like, I guess you're coming with me now.
Yes, where are we going? Back to Waterdeep?
I mean,
We should meet back at
The troll skull?
yeah, probably.
Trollskull Manor?
Also where I live, so that's definitely where I'm going.
I could use a drink and a nice hot soup or a
do
carrot
they do
cake.
carrot cake?
Yes, I believe they have carrot cake at the manor.
Oh, they're going to start to if they don't already.
We could go back for a little while.
Let's go.
Well, I mean,
Before
you
we
could-
go home.
with the amount of money we have, you could just buy it.
Yeah, we can get you a couple mail sandwiches.
I'd like to try a soup that's not cold.
Perfect. We can get that done.
I think you can get hot soup at a pub, right?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you do know, Lether, that Trollskull Manor is known for their menu. Sticky buns in particular are
Mm.
high on the menu.
Oh, a sticky bun.
Not
I've
for
never
me.
had
It
one of
messes up
those.
my sword hands.
So you see Alondra say, well, should I portal us back to where it all began?
A lot of portal magic. You still got. How many portals can you do in a day?
Remember when you pretended like you couldn't do a portal and we had to use the portal guy from here? That weird librarian guy?
Well, I wasn't in the picture at that point. That was pre Alondra times.
You were, but you
I was
wasn't
trying to
time.
find the proper time to meet you guys in.
I'm glad you got the calculation right eventually.
At B
Just-
plus.
Portals on portals on portals. Let's.
She's had a lot of practice.
It's true.
All right. Let's. We can't just walk there.
It'll take days.
Okay. Let's just do a portal then.
Yeah,
Let's get there. I want some
let's-
soup now.
No.
Let's go.
Soup now,
Let's go.
please.
A short rest is actually very much in the cards.
As you see before she begins the incantations for the teleportation spell, you see her turn towards Isarbenestra and gives like a big, deep, gracious bow. And you see her kind of smile and you're like, I should have known your kind was involved. And you see she just pump her fist like, me.
Mark one up for the time dragon.
You see her begin to cast the spell and you see small arcane bluish runes surround everyone's feet. And then you find yourselves actually all crowded into a small little back closet in Trollskull Manor.
Oh,
It's like, gunk, 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 like
Onthar, Doug is on my cheek. Get it?
someone's
Show-
face is in my elbow.
Someone's standing on my foot.
Like, I think I did.
B plus.
B plus.
Plus.
It's like, I think I feel a doorknob over here. It's like,
I can't
and you
feel
all,
my face.
I can't reach the doorknob.
you all kind of 80s style fall out of the,
Dung, 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 dung.
as you see Molly walking by with the martinis, like, well, I do say you walk very fast. I've only had my third martini and it's barely new.
You know,
It's
one of
2
those won't go
o'clock.
down there either.
I think this may be my fourth martini. As you see. Easy enough to get the exact same table you sat at. Ontharr kind of like squishes in at the side as you hear the bands and the music begin to strike up. Harmony, you do notice that you are getting some very cautious and strange looks as people immediately clock Onthar's room.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a problem for another day, I think.
Maybe a little disguising of Ontharr. Maybe just add a little
A
A
mole?
mustache.
What do you want?
a whole fur suit, maybe.
He's a furry now.
I
Oh,
mean,
we're already maybe
we're at the
cast
table.
We're at the table.
Just give him a wee mustache.
He's got a big bushy beard.
Damn it.
I'll just say loudly, man, being twins is really weird, isn't
Right,
it?
isn't it?
Gosh. Twins.
Twins.
You're a twin too.
It's just
No
twins.
idea.
Onthar's like, yes, twins are essential to family. As he looks at all of you, he's like, gives the most obvious, like, wee. She says, well, for me, my PhD is done. I've got to go defend my dissertation now. So,
And many of your actions.
With the council.
you know,
Do you have time to stay for a wee drink?
she says, unfortunately for time dragons, we actually have very little time sometimes. As you see her bow, and she holds up all your hands in a friendship circle.
No.
Friendship.
She
One
says,
last friendship circle.
if I've done everything right, you'll never have to see me again.
Oh,
But we'd like to.
I like all of you so much. Thank you for helping me save this reality and everyone involved.
Thank you.
a lot of it was you.
A lot of it.
Yes.
All the portals for sure.
Some of the portals. You see her kind of just gives that beaming smile. She kind of like collects her emotions into her chest and then turns around, walks back into the back closet. So you hear pump and you're, wait, no, carry the 5. No, carry the 1.
Never carry any of the other things but a 1.
So we have our heroes back in Troll Skull Manor in Waterdeep. How do you wish to close out this adventure?
We need to get home.
I think so. I think we need to see our mum.
Yeah. Spend some time with family. Really important. Maybe we'll have a family reunion.
That would be nice. All our brothers and sisters.
That would be wild.
I got the whole lot of them.
We have enough money now.
We do.
Carrot cake.
Carrot cake. So much carrot cake.
Do they take gold in the Feywild?
Depends on where you go.
Meraxis, you feel a small little, like, something's been slipped into your pocket.
Oh. Okay, so Meraxis reaches in her pocket.
The little rolled up piece of paper from Alondra
Oh, okay. So I open it up.
and says, you may want to research your lineage because the coloration of a dragon to dragonborn passes down from the mom 20% of the time and 80% of the time from the dad.
Oh. So I might have a dad out there? Is that what it I have parents.
What?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't think you were immaculately
Well,
conceived, did you?
no, but I might still have some sort of lead to figuring out who my parents are.
You see Ontharr pop up. It's like, well, everyone seems to be surprised that you're silver.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Am I silver again now?
You are silver now. Yeah,
I'm silver. Okay. Yeah. Because I went gold for a little bit. Remember?
Wait,
Yeah.
so is that why other realities of you were gold? Except for that one where you were a princess.
You've only saw the statue of it.
Yeah. Only the statue.
But we saw our
But they also didn't-
parents were both.
Yeah,
So the
silver.
parents were silver, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, that couple was a silver.
Hmm.
maybe you have a different father in this reality. Well, if you wish to research some genealogy, I can probably help you with the library sometime.
That'd be great. Yeah.
And Anthar, you have to be quiet in libraries.
Oh, I can be very quiet. I'm the greatest quiet paladin in the world.
You are certainly the greatest.
Rax is just like pats his back.
And make sure you hug your mum for us, Elantra.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I after we all leave here, it's time to see my family again.
Yeah.
Let's do a little fast forward to that scene because for Alethra, this has been a journey of 6 years now.
Well, I think I did arrive home, so I did get to see my parents before, but I was only, I think, home for like a week, so it's been short time. So it has been at least, I think, one big reunion. But coming into the cobbler shop, because it's actually still the same day.
Mm-hmm.
To flashback to episode like 2 or whatever, I did say to send my initial money home.
Mhm.
Is that already there?
Yes.
Or okay. So I imagine she is surprised that a lot of money dropped on her, and now I am home like the same day I left.
Yeah. So you come back to your mom and dad's cobbler shop. The bell rings as the door opens, and you just see it's always like shoes just hanging down. The smells of sandalwood and leather. As you see shoes hanging from the ceiling, shoes hanging from the side. As you see your mom, face just kind of like suited up with the day's work with like her leather poncho or robe on for working the shoes, and she's literally just holding globs of coins in her hands as she looks up at you, and in her mind, you've just left and come back. As she looks up and with like a whimsical smile and says, "Is there something you haven't told me, Alethra?"
Well, there's actually quite a lot I haven't told you, but right now, just come here. It's been a big day.
She like grabs you and pulls you into a hug, and you feel like that extra tightness of a mom. And I think that is a good spot to end the adventure for this season. Thank you so much for playing in my game, everybody.
Yay. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you so much, Johnny.
All right.
Fantastic.
So we're going to take a quick break. I think we're going to attach the round table to this one as well and just sit down, talk our feels out, have some questions.
Time for me to eat my donut
Yeah,
now.
eat some donuts.
Time for a second
Love
donut.
I was going to say donut round 2.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diecast podcast season finale for Dragon Echo's 10-year anniversary. This is going to be a bit of a long one, so just hold in with us. We closed it out. What an amazing finish. It was such a fun time to record. It was just a good, wholesome, bring it all together moment. I'm so happy and just so proud of how everyone played their characters and told their story. It was such a phenomenal time. I am overwhelmed with all the effort and work that everyone put into it. So thank you to Mac, Mia, Miles, and Leslie of just unbelievable storytelling for Dragon Echoes. It's unbelievable how it happened. It's unbelievable how the story played out and the conclusion that we got. What an awesome and great time. So it is March 9th. It is our season finale, and it is also our 10-year anniversary. 10 years ago, the very first episode of the Diecast podcast, Horde of the Dragon Queen premiered, and it has been a wild ride. What an amazing journey we've all been on. Just starting in, I believe it was Trevor's common room in his condominium where people would come in and put things in the microwave while we played. And then as we've gone through Rise of Tiamat, Vault of Wonders, Tomb of Annihilation, and upgrading our gear and watching more and more people join along to listen on the journey and all the great friends we've made and the spin-off shows that we've done. It's incredible. And this show, these people that I've met, these friends that I've made, it has changed my life for the better. And it has helped me through some very tough times in my life. D&D and this show have given me an escape I needed. They've given me therapy that I needed. It's given me a purpose, and I just can't say thank you enough. If you've listened once, if you've been listening for a couple years or through the whole thing, just thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to keep doing this. I want to keep telling stories. I want to keep playing D&D and other TTRPGs with my friends. So for 10 years, thank you. Almost a quarter of my life, I've been doing this, which is just an incredible feat, incredible journey. Um, Oh, the big thank yous. Big thank you to Joey for GeekPron and who also made our website for taking the chance and saying, sure, go ahead, try and D&D podcast. Who knows what'll happen? Trevor for teaching me how to do sound engineering when we upgraded our equipment. To Miles, my best friend, my partner, who has been with us since episode 1 to year 10. You're my best friend. You've helped out so much. You've helped me and guided me through the good parts and helped me and guided me through the bad parts. None of this would have been possible without you. To Steph Cook, Steph Girk, for everything you've done. Steph Cook, you are the reason why Tales from Troll Skull exists and have opened up my life to a whole bunch of wonderful new people. And to the cast of Tales from Troll Skull, you are amazing. I can't wait till we start recording that very soon. We're gonna finish out the Ontharf room and the Dormu Demon Prince of Plague storyline. I can't wait for that to happen. To this cast, oh my God, Leslie, you are an amazing individual. Just the undying support and love you've thrown behind this for we've become complete strangers to become very good friends. You're just an amazing and brilliant person. Mac, who we've known each other for so long, and when I finally said, yeah, Mac would be down to play some D&D, sure she would. And I'm so glad you said yes. And you've been hilarious, you've been funny, and again, the love and support that comes out from everybody has just been unreal. Mia, you are so good at this game and you are so funny. And I love all the character decisions and choices you've made. You are unbelievable. Thank you for bringing Miraxis into our world. It's been so much fun and so full of laughs. Um, so yeah, stay posted. And for all our cast members, we're going to be sending out some special. I've had some 10-year anniversary dice made, some merch made. Essentially just a D20 that is exactly our logo, and just as a thank you for playing and for being a part of the story. It has been incredible, and just the smallest thing I can do to say thank you. And to everyone else, to Jennifer and John from the Canadian Podcast Awards, thank you for creating such an amazing community for podcasters from Canada to come together and just grow and build the community. That community is such a foundation in Canadian podcasting. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you for all the support and generosity you've provided over the years. It has been incredible. To Ashley, Niall, and Dane, thank you, my fellow podcasters from Lullaby and from NoQuest and Fuck Buddies. Your support and your friendship has been out of this world. It's been great to lean on you for support. It's been great to go to you for advice and just backup and support. You're all amazing. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. 10 years is a wild ride, and I can't believe I'm doing this stuff right now. But I think for now, stay tuned. We're going to be doing some more social media in our downtime as we get ready for Tales from Troll Skull Volume 3. Appearances, Friday, March 14th to March 16th. I'll be doing Breakout Con and Toronto Comic Con. Breakout will be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we will be at the Canadian Podcast Awards booth at Comic Con from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. We'll be posting schedules. I'll be running Candle Obscura for Darrington Press to make some awesome Candle Obscura content with a module that should be a lot of fun and a little creepy, a little scary. It'll be great. And I think that is it. Happy 10 years to everybody. This is unreal. Thank you. Where you can find us on social media at the Diecast Podcast, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads. You can find us on our own website at www.thediecastpodcast.com and any app that plays a podcast, and all the conventions coming up. Big things you can do to help us out. Leave a rating and review. If you saw one of our panels at one of the conventions, send them an email in the survey. Ask for them to invite us back. We'd love to come out to all the various cities around Canada and say hello and share our D&D knowledge and tips and tricks and listen to other people's what they do in their games. It's been a fantastic time. I think that is it. Thank you so much for Dragon Echoes. Thank you so much for this season. Thank you so much for 10 years. Man, it has been a wild ride until Breakout Con and Comic Con and until Tales from Troll Skull for the last time for this season of Dragon Echoes. Drink some water. Tell a loved one how you feel. Congratulations on 10 years. I love you so much. Welcome back from the break. We're here to do our roundtable and talk about our feelings. We have Miles, Mia, Leslie, and Mac to talk about our recently concluded adventure. First of all, thank you everybody for joining in and creating one of the best seasons we've ever had. The chemistry was flying off the table. I was editing an episode last week. It was the Onthar in Sigil for the first time, and I was dying laughing of just everyone. The two-hander joke came out. And
we had some good like timing for sure. Like just it, and I think our characters were different enough to make it like bounce off each other in a really good way. Like
nice motley crew.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think a nice leg up is that Harmony and Melody know each other from before. Obviously, they are twins. But like,
I certainly hope so.
Long lost. The lore is going to change a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's a great shortcut to like immediate camaraderie between like a group, because like so many Dungeons and Dragons campaigns begin with, well, here's 5 strangers who have no reason to talk to each other except for whatever inciting incident. I think that's so often just contrived or whatever, because you just want to get past that to go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But like, especially, coming into like a level 10, having 2 characters that have that connection, I think it was a really great choice from the 2 of you.
Thank you.
Well, it was funny. Well, but I think Elantra had some distrust at the beginning of the 2 of us, because you didn't know where we were from, what we were about, what we could do, what we couldn't do. So there was a very
it creates good tension.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you want to have a little bit of that too, but at least like half of the group is already on the same side.
Yes, yeah. It was interesting because when Johnny asked us to be part of the podcast, we were all sort of in a group chat, and I think I had decided I wanted to be a Harengon after fighting the Paladin at the end of Tales from Troll Skull, Volume 2, and I was like, well, what if we were sisters, and what if we were twins, and would you be interested in being a bunny with me? And I was like, I'm going to be a druid. And like, you were dealing with your wedding at the time. So I was like, I'll write up a backstory. Like, do you let me know how much input or what, kind of thing.
And I said, yes.
Yeah. Kenzie was immediately like, oh my God, yes. Yeah. And then Johnny was like, twins, eh? Let's see what we can do with this.
Well, do you want to talk about or share your special connection? We didn't really deep into it too much. You got close a couple of times.
Yeah.
And the one time it actually would have worked out, you both fell asleep. So it didn't really.
Yeah. We, so when we came up with it originally, I said, well, we were actually born conjoined. And so our mother consulted someone to separate us at birth, but she didn't realize that we also share a soul. So, there were certain aspects that if one was affected by something, then the other would be too. And if one went unconscious, the other would. And
that would
they could be woken up, but they would immediately drop the same time that the other did.
And if one of us died.
Yeah. Or if one of us were afflicted by
a curse
sort of a curse or something like that, it would affect us.
Okay. So that's kind of where, because I remember this was briefly brought up during the Dark Rose episodes,
because I said if we killed Dark Melody,
like how is this possible? Because okay, that's very interesting.
It's also how the crystal was pulling you in, because it was trying to unify one soul.
Soul. It was trying to bring us together. Yeah,
there you go.
That's it. That makes sense.
Yeah, that actually you never got it. If you both got stunned by the crystal at the same time, I was going to have you guys switch your character sheets with each other.
Oh my god.
Oh, that would have been a mess.
It's been a long time since I played a druid.
Here's a level 12 character.
Yeah,
Good luck.
during the boss fight.
Yeah.
Good luck. Oof.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
That's why you were so hopeful every time you were like, make a roll. You get sucked in a little closer.
Yeah.
Just a little closer.
Just a little closer.
Whose side are you on, Miles?
I'm on the side of chaos.
Yeah. Don't forget to make your roll.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules in D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of Elantra in you.
Yeah, seriously.
Them's the rules.
It's you gotta help out John. He's got a lot going on.
Because there was like so much going on with what could have happened in that fight. Because just to your credit, you picked. Like, I had a couple of big boss fights for y'all to encounter, and you picked one that I should have considered, but I didn't have planned. And you literally picked the perfect opportunity to go after Obanus.
Like time window wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just got out. He's got a level of exhaustion. He's already used 2 or 3 high level spell slots. I didn't have a whole lot left, and he had nothing on him. And he was like, well, I'm going to go back to this place that I know about.
Yeah.
And you literally jumped him as he walked in the door. The only thing that set him off was that he had based on that Obanus, because of his dealing with the multiverse, is that whenever he was under observation by anybody, he immediately knew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's a spell called like mislead or misdirect, where you cast it and then he teleports away and an illusion is.
That was the
Okay.
moment that
Yeah.
I felt
Those mislead,
when I was on
think.
him as
Yeah.
the bug, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it was like it was the perfect, like you chose the perfect time to, like, it was like chef's kiss of just good selection of tactics of.
Well, because
Way
I
to
was
go,
trying to
team.
think of like
Yeah.
when
Go what?
like when he wouldn't, we knew we needed him to get out of the silver dragon fight,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
but we needed to get him before he started amassing Obani. So
Well, we had a plan going, remember?
Yeah.
And then we found out that he was observing that.
yeah, originally we were going to go
I
back to
think,
the bone fight.
I
But
think that
kept-
would have been.
well, that's what I kept saying. Like, he's going to be at his ultimate power at that point. Like, we can't.
Yeah. No, that was
We're going to
smart.
get wiped.
Ultimate power and like 5 other Obanuses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Literally the
Mhm.
council
That's
of
what,
Reeds.
if we had walked into that room, it would have been, an Obani. You get an Obani, and you get
Yeah,
an Obani, and you
yeah.
get an Obani.
And literally would have been 1 school of each kind of magic.
Oh, no.
That's fun.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Good thing we dodged
Instead,
that.
we got tired, exhausted. Although I will say you played him very well, because I was on the verge of believing him being like, how do you know that this event isn't what causes me to do what you experienced after
Yeah,
this?
Just keeping
And
us
I
on
was
our
like,
toes.
certainly was.
Fuck. I was like, wait, what if this isn't the right Obana? Like, I was questioning everything during that fight, where I was like, okay, well then I'm just going to go for the sigils and the crystals, because I don't know about him. Like, I don't know what to do with him,
Like, he's a threat. Get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and he
He's
also
our
seemed
friend,
so
yeah.
happy that we were beating the shit out of him,
Mhm.
because I was like, well, what if there's other Obani in the crystal watching this, and then that's the Obani that goes after us after. You know what I mean? Like, I got real freaked out. Even after we killed him, I was like, we're not done.
That's
like,
true.
I was so sure.
We were like heading home,
was like,
and
wait.
she's like, "I don't think we're done."
I was like,
"No,
we gotta
I think
destroy
we're
these
done."
crystals. There's some sort of trick he's got up his sleeve.
Every single ride home that we've had.
Oh
we've
my
been like,
God.
okay, it's not done. There's no way.
Literally,
Like-
last week we were both like, that was too, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, we still gotta resurrect this dragon, man. I don't know. We were like,
Johnny keeps
I was-
telling us it's the
you
last
had
one.
me
I don't know, man.
paranoid as hell. Honest
Funny,
to God.
yeah.
To the point where I didn't trust you when you were like, next week we'll record the last bit of the episode. I was like,
No
well,
fucking
Johnny
way.
says it's finishing, but Obanus, man, I don't know about him.
Well, I got some news for you. Whoosh.
Yeah.
I don't roll initiative.
Oh no, we can
God.
take a short rest.
Our sure is.
I wish. No.
I do want to ask, because Mia, this is your first time on the podcast. Thank you so much for
No,
playing.
this is my second time on the
Second time,
pod.
right,
Yes,
correct.
second
Tales from
time on the
Teleskull.
Yes.
Uh,
She's got you twice now
got-
with the episode number.
Yeah.
That's true. But this is I felt like I wanted to make Meraxis because like I remember when you first threw the concept of Meander back from Tales from Troll Skull, I was like, oh, there's so much here that I want to play around with. And I thought I really wanted to start like obviously one of the themes is like family and chosen family versus actual family and what are the relationships between the two. And I saw you like you just dove so headfirst into it that I loved your emotional journey of going from I don't know who my parents are to like, oh, these are my parents. Ooh, no, they're not my parents. And then I also enjoyed this little twist that you took of I can't remember which episode it was, but you were doing something with the dragon. Well, I think it was breaking Menzies out, and you were like when he died, and you got really upset that a fellow dragon died, even though the relationship between like chromatics and metallics is not good, and you still like had this sympathy and empathy for this. And I was like, that's a great character journey that you've been on.
Yeah, I just feel like even though there's probably, I mean, from what I've heard, because I'm still very much a noob, and I'm like learning that even different campaigns, like they all connect because they all follow the same kind of storyline. Is that kind of
timeline?
Timeline.
This
Okay.
is our version of the Dungeons and Dragons universe.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool, very cool.
The third version of the timeline now.
Yeah. Gets very complicated, but I imagine that they would all at least have some connection because they're dragons and they're like certain lineages have died off because of certain things that have happened, and and then the Dragonborn, I guess it's like that they're kind of like the modern. It's kind of like these are my ancestors are the dragons, so it's just interesting. I feel like there would be some connection. Like it just made sense to me. I just figured I'd go with that.
Nice.
Yeah, good instincts.
You made some good choices, or some very compelling choices too. I hope I'll message you later about family lineage.
No, I'm interested to hear. Like, I'm interested to like look into that and see where that goes.
And we come to Miles with Alethra, who's had this journey start from 2018, I think was.
Wow. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's the before times.
Yeah.
It's definitely it. Yeah, I was really happy to return to Alethra, a character I really, really enjoyed the first time through. I think I've told you this before, but like the first time I played Alethra, as you can tell from my notebook, because I did bring back the same notebook, I have like so many pages. This is all of Alethra's notes from the first campaign. Basically,
Wow.
There's like 2 pages of notes from this campaign.
Those are some yellowed pages.
Yeah, well, this is a while ago, right?
Yeah.
It's a tome.
And so like, I wrote like her journal through that first campaign that she did. So it was very in depth. So you can tell I had a real affection for the character. It was great to bring her back, and I was trying to like make her a little bit older because it had been both a long time in real life as in for her as well. A character I really like. It's the second character I ever created. And she's like, just fun to play in combat and really fun to play around the table. Just like that, just being able to, sort of like, there are what they call the 3 pillars of D&D, which is like combat, exploration, and like dialogue or diplomacy. And like she has a little bit of all of them, which like is kind of the best. Just to have it, like, she's not the best at any of those things. Like all the spellcasters do more damage than her most of the time.
She's a jack of all trades.
Yeah, but she can she can climb up walls like Spider-Man.
Swiss Army knife of the group kind of thing.
And she's also the wizard. Like she has a intelligence score of 16. It's ridiculous.
It was very fun to watch you pull stuff from her past or from her knowledge bank to be able to work with us and work with our characters to figure out the best plan. And to like, there was a lot of strategizing in this game, and a lot of D&D that I've played in the past has been like, well, you do this and I'll do this and let's hope it works. Bye. Here we go. You know what I mean? Like, because you do feel like there's a time constraint, especially if you're recording things. But like, it was great to like bounce ideas off each other in character, which was very fun. And you had so much Waterdeep knowledge and so much combat knowledge and so much arcane knowledge, and so that made it really I love to watch you like figure something out as Alethra. Like,
I also love that Alethra had the final blow with Obanus
Yes.
too. That was so badass. Like it was just that played out so well. Like that was really cool. I enjoyed it.
I mean, I think if a writer was doing it, you probably would have laid the final blow.
No, like as a newbie, like I was like I think I'd only just learned. And you walked me through some stuff where I was like, okay, could have used that this entire time.
That's everybody's first.
There we go.
I forgot I had wild shape for ages. Remember? I was like, oh yeah, I could have gotten some of those hit points back.
I think I've used this line in a past roundtable, so apologies, longtime listeners, if I had. But like my very first campaign in 8 seasons ago, whatever it is, nine seasons ago, like, I was the newbie. Like that was my first D&D campaign ever, and so in many ways, the Diecast podcast is a story of Miles falling in love with Dungeons and Dragons and becoming an expert. Like, because I knew nothing about the setting of the world or the rules. Like I played a little bit of 4th edition, but not a lot. And now I've played 8 seasons of this. I play other campaigns that are not recorded, thankfully. These are my best characters, guys. There's some really bad ones. Ours, like uneven ones. And like, now I know a lot about Dungeons and Dragons.
No, that's amazing. And I mean, I'll say this, like I'm not gonna lie, I was very nervous. I know Stephanie Cook was supposed to be part of this and she couldn't be part of it due to, different
Shout out
constraints.
Stephanie Cook.
Yeah, she's a busy, successful
she's just,
lady.
she's so busy. So I was a little nervous. Like I know all of you and I know of all of you, if that makes sense. But like, it was just one of those things where I was like, okay, like I'm going in with like very little knowledge and I like sort of know these people. Like, am I going to be the weakest link essentially? And that was my biggest worry. But no, like, I think after the first episode, we got our groove fairly quickly, and then it was just so much fun. Like it was something to look forward to.
Your role play was great too.
Well, thank you.
Like,
I was so worried. I was like so nervous about it.
It was great because Meraxis was like this hulking figure who rarely spoke, but when you did, you had like the best lines. Like you were it was just the greatest. And to go back to Alethra getting the final blow. Alethra, sorry, Alethra. I can't even know my accent. I can't do it. Alethra getting the final blow. It was really fun to see you like Alethra had been sort of hesitant in a lot of ways, and so to see you be like, nope, Alethra's going straight for Obanus. We're gonna end this shit right now, and that is exactly what you did. So it was fun to see you like go through and be the fighter in that moment. You know?
I like that.
It felt right. Like
for you to just be like, I'm gonna hit him again. I'm gonna hit him again. I'm gonna hit him again. Like it was great.
I'm gonna do what fighters do.
Yeah.
Just like this is my target. Like this is the reason why we are here.
Just take charge kind of gal.
Yeah.
All right, I want to go around the table, and just if you have questions for anybody, for myself or for other people, ask away. Like, what are some things you wanted to know? What are some things that you want to know about other people's characters and other people's play styles? If we have any volunteers before I start picking at random.
I've got a doozy.
All right.
But what were the other options for worlds?
Yeah, that's my question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Like come on.
So we had the Frozen world. I kind of Star Wars'd it, where like it was kind of like the element of what it was. So they were all water deep, and then we had the Thane world, we had the Frozen world, we had the Feywild had taken over water deep. We had the what you call it, the Neverwinter king had come down and like essentially ran like a Trumpian corrupted. And then the other one was going to be like a billionaire CEO dragon of just like all the wealth comes to me, and it was like he had Menzies with him working for him, but it was very much like he's at the top and everyone else is kind of like at the bottom, but he's also such like an ancient powerful dragon that he literally like nothing happens without him knowing it.
Can't defy him kind of thing.
That one would have been very like
timely.
I was gonna say very timely, very apt.
Yeah, no kidding.
Was Obanus always the final boss in your mind, or was that a like happy accident that you discovered along the way?
It was. I didn't know. I had plans for both. I didn't know because I thought if things go bad, it's going to be the Empress of Storms who's going to be the bad one. But the progression of Obanus actually changed over time. where I had him as one bad guy, and then I realized that he was the lore I created for a character from podcast history is Zonthal, who's kind of like this like background wizard who's always kind of like you always see like little
The legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like Zonthal's tower
Yeah.
is
Yeah, often mentioned, never seen.
Mhm.
yeah. I think he's only been seen in the PvP episodes, I think, because he's the guy who organizes it.
Yeah.
And that I had even back then, I was like, oh, he like went across like the multiverse and then essentially like pulled all the other Zonthals into one supreme being. And then for the lore I had for that Obanus was like he explored in the multiverse to try and fight back the Thanes and discovered that, oh, I'm a wizard, Zonthal's a wizard. What was his thing? And he figured out what Zonthal did. And you kept saying like, oh, he wants to kill the other Obanuses. Like no, he wants to like merge them all into
Right. Yeah.
into one, which was the idea that it kind of changed and evolved into. Whereas like that one final fight where there was one Obanus for each school of magic, I thought was going to be, ooh, this is going to be really,
Yeah.
really
That
tight.
could have. Yeah.
That would have been messy.
Yeah. Like, because just the abjuration and the divination, the necromancy one would have just been unreal.
A lot of wizards to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they only had like 100 hit points each at that level. And like the AC was like 15, 12, something like that, depending on
Yeah,
Mm.
I could do
Jeez.
some of those.
Yeah. Lower ACs for sure.
depending on which one you hit. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was one of those DM moments. Like, do I counterspell more than one heal going out?
Mhm, mhm.
Very rude. Counter spell.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I actually did it in our first episode.
Yeah.
Melody tried to do a heal, and Oban's like, nope.
No.
Yeah, that was rude.
Tried it.
Very upsetting.
Any other questions for anybody else or for the DM or?
Having played Meraxis, Mia, like what would you like to explore in your next character? Or, if you were to pull something out, what is there another class or race or what interests you?
I think, well, when it comes to Meraxis, it'd be cool to see where she goes finding her lineage, especially
sure.
because she is a dragonborn. And yeah, I actually never thought about my dad. That aspect of like the father portion of being a dragonborn. So it's like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool to like, get a deep dive and figure out that portion. Maybe even like, what happens between her and Onthor.
It's your kids, Meraxis, it's your kids.
Yeah. I have children. Yeah. So that'd be interesting. But I think if I were to come back or create another character, I'd love to be a fighter. That seems to be like, I was like, man, I'd love to wield a sword.
Yeah.
That just sounds so cool.
Action Surge is
Great.
Yeah.
I've off mic. I played the psionic fighter, which is like like a telekinetic fighter. Has some similar mechanics to the Battle Master, which I play. But yeah, different weapons. You can really make them whatever you want, which is very cool. Like if you want to be like the best bow fighter, like now Ranger's not as good as a fighter with a bow.
It's true.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I do remember for Tales of Troll Skull when I was making Meraxis, it was between like a sorcerer. Like I remember you sent me, I think it was you who sent me like Johnny. I'm looking at Johnny. You sent me a whole bunch of like, I guess just characters that you can sort of build on. And I was like, okay, it's between the rogue or like the sorcerer. And then the only thing I had to go off of for Dungeons and Dragons, which is so bad, is Stranger Things. And, then, like that, I don't know if anybody remembers that video that was very viral, but this was like YouTube times. Like this was way before, TikTok and all that. Where it's like these like little 2-bit characters and they're like, is there girls in there? Because if there's girls in there, I want to do them. Yeah, like that one. Yeah, and so it's like, I want to do magic missile. And like, I'm like, magic missile. I would have to be a sorcerer to use that. So that was why I went with a sorcerer.
That's amazing. I love that.
I attack the darkness.
Yeah, that exact thing. Yeah.
I will say, just based to key off of that, in the latest World of Warcraft expansion, there is a dungeon where the boss you fight is the darkness, and you got to literally like throw magic missiles.
Oh my god!
Like
Amazing.
you're not casting it; you're literally like throwing magical arrows at them as you get chased by the darkness. It's very funny.
That's great.
Good call
I
back.
love that.
But also, thank you for continuing the tradition of people completely new to the podcast choosing a
Choosing
sorcerer.
sorcerer, yeah.
So I hear, yeah.
Yeah, number
fantastic.
3, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
How complicated can I make my first time?
Okay, you jump into the deep end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, full casters are a lot to pilot, especially in the mid.
Starting at level 10.
But
Yeah.
10 is
a
tricky
big
because
challenge.
the tales from Troll Skull are usually fairly combat light, and like you're not using a ton of your abilities, so you're just mostly role playing. So yeah, like leveling up Miraxis to have a lot more stuff is definitely
that was
very
wild.
complicated.
No, and then having a learning disability on top of it, where like you do not see numbers the way that everybody else does. Like I am neurospicy, so I was just kind of like, what the fuck? I don't know what to do, guys.
Good on you for jumping in both feet, though. Like,
well, I had you guys doing my math, so I appreciate that.
But some of
I had D&D Beyond doing mine.
Yes. But some of the biggest compliments I've gotten about this season from listeners has been like, I'm so glad you have like a new player and someone who, needs stuff explained to them sometimes, because then I understand a lot more about the game, which is awesome. That would be the whole point of sharing Dungeons and Dragons with people, Yeah,
that's always been my philosophy of this show, is that like I'm a big fan, like show how the sausage is made, because that's like part of fun is the table talk of people figuring things out or like going through personal moments. Like that's, to me, that's a huge part of D&D, is figuring like, okay. And then people like I need help with this, and people jumping in to help, or like, like thinking out an idea or like talking out an idea out loud. Like to me, that's, I find that's I want to keep those moments in. Like people, people may cut that as like, oh, it's not part of the main story. It's like, well, it is part of the story, because that's how the story's like pulling back the curtain from the Wizard of Oz. Like we're seeing how the story's made right now.
Yeah.
Well, and I think from the outside, D&D can seem incredibly intimidating because it's a huge world. There's so many characters. There's millions of books. There's so many spells and whatever. Like, you know what I mean? So it can be incredible, and they add more all the time. And then there's homebrew, and then there's So I think it can appear from the outside extremely intimidating. So to have someone be able to come in and start and have people help them out and explain things and go through it with them is the best way to learn, is to play.
No, that it really is. Yeah. No, you kind of have to dive in to really get the game and really understand. And I've had, obviously, again, like small inklings, like small campaigns that I've been part of, but this was probably like the deepest I've ever gone into on it. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And obviously you guys were the best people to go into this with, because
Friendship circle.
Again,
Friendship
circle.
circle.
Because I was very nervous. I was so nervous.
Any other questions for cast, crew, yourselves, characters?
Any highlights from your role play or someone else's at the tables?
I like how many times
I was just gonna say the same thing.
Oh my gosh!
the amount of times that we were able to, because when we wrote about the characters, I was like, we have to try and say things at the same time or finish each other's sentences.
Didn't even try.
Like if we can work that out, that'd be great. But we never like talked about it or anything. And then when it happened in the organic times, like even sitting across from Miles and watching your face when we said the same thing, you'd be like, like that. It was great.
Same time, same tone, same inflection.
Yeah.
It was so funny when that happened.
I was so happy you could, when I was like, I kind of want to do like a soft Irish accent. And you were like, yeah, I got
Let's go for it.
Yeah. It was great.
One of the compliments I actually got was someone said, "Oh, you're so lucky to have like two Irish people." I was like, no, they're voice actors. Like,
Yeah.
like what? Really? Like, yeah.
Such a nice
this is my real voice, actually.
This is mine.
This is why I always say drink a lot of water.
Yeah, what the listeners don't know is that my laugh is very loud. I am aware of this. But like, there's a lot of times where I'm just shaking my whole body up and down that you guys don't hear when I'm being very quiet.
I will say
it is a full body laugh in addition to being so loud.
I left her in stealth.
It's one of those things I can see. I've as I edit the episodes, I've come to know everyone's like frequency and temper. I know when something really gets Miles, because I can see, like, I can pick up on his, because we have the new mixer. I can pick up when he's vibrating. From the I was like, oh, he's enjoying this a lot. And then just this boom of laugh when like,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
Sorry.
I love your laugh. I think
Yeah.
you're being
Yeah.
your truest self. I think it is. Keep doing it. It is wonderful.
There's no way I can stop it.
Yeah.
But
100%.
it's like
Never
and
stop.
it's always it's always all like because when I've been editing, I try and get rid of mic bleed, but like when you all go at the same time,
yeah.
like no, just let it go. Like let it ring because that was supremely funny. Like the one I just the edited like where you're in the Silvered Bullet with Anthar and like you're meeting Doug for the first time and like that is
the two-handed.
just most of that dialogue is all echoed because everyone is laughing at the same time.
Perfect.
It's so good. Like it is so funny. Any other highlights, questions, anything like that? Or?
Yeah, what about you, Mia? Any highlights?
There's a few. I mean, there's that one. I'm trying to remember what battle it was, but like where all of us were like sweating profusely. We had to all go outside.
That was the dragon battle. That was the undead dragon because we were worried that like it was tight. Like it was like big. It was intense.
Yeah, like we literally created heat in here.
Yeah.
We were all so like,
oh my god. We took a break and we were like, we gotta get outside.
And anyone in Canada or not familiar with Canada, it's a chilly time of year right now. And we all just went out, like took our sweaters off.
Yeah. It just like stood in the cold for a while.
Steam.
Literally.
I will say that's one of my favorite NPCs ever made is the Black Rose.
Yeah, that was cool.
I've always had a concept for like I always want to do like I enjoy my fallen knights, my evil paladins, and then I was like, wait, what's an evil fighter cleric? And then just took the soul story and spun it around. It's like
I guess then I would have a question. What would have happened if we defeated her?
That's something you have to find out later.
Okay. Might be bringing her back.
Oh, she's so good. You got to bring her
She's
back.
real good.
Great. I
She's
love
real
that.
good.
I
Like
love it.
It's one of those moments as a DM where you're like seeing everyone's like emotional journey on your faces where when you see like the Harangon coming, like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, it's like Evil Melody. And as everyone starts to peek through, like, oh, and then she starts doing the cool shit like the whip sword, the reflect cape, and like
I completely misread the situation in that moment because I was like, oh, this is my sister from another reality. She's lost her sister somehow. Therefore, I can be the missing sister for her. It'll be like when Meraxis's parents saw her alive again. Won't that be wonderful? And then so I just walked up to her and was like, hey sis, hey girl, hey.
You need a hug.
I got you. It's me.
So
Don't
much
worry
of a
about it.
mystery.
And I was so ready for her to like at least have an emotional moment and like maybe drop the sword or something. Like, and then she just fucking ripped into me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna die. I've made a large mistake." It was so funny.
I also think that
So
an
confident.
impressively scary foe that I don't think has any dialogue.
Yeah.
I think she whispered.
She
one
whispered
shit.
when she
whispered one
disappeared. She
thing.
was like, "I would do it
I would
again.
do it again."
I would do it again."
Yeah.
That's very impressive work.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm curious to know, like, if we didn't free Obanus, like, was he right? Like, I guess I'm always wondering if the dragon, like my parents from like the winter world, the frozen world, or frozen existence, would they have reacted the way they did because we were escaping and kind of like, I'm just curious to know what
So
other.
Their reaction wasn't you escaping. Their reaction was you leaving. Was specifically you
leaving.
Was
They
he
weren't going to
leaving?
let
Okay,
you
so they
leave.
weren't.
It had nothing to do with the dragon Obanus. It had everything to do with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Because-
okay.
It was.
Okay, so they did want to keep me there. Like
yeah,
they were
absolutely.
trying. Okay,
Specifically, your
interesting.
mom wanted to keep you there.
They had lost you
Interesting.
once. They weren't going to lose you again.
Yeah,
kind of
but like
thing.
I'm not the same version. Like I was so
yeah, but
stoic
we
with
learned
them.
from the very beginning that dragons have this memory that crosses realities
Yes,
across
that's
time.
very true. I forgot
That's
about
why at the end, when you were like, by the way, your real son's kind of undead, she was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I did.
I like this one. It's fine.
That's what the echoes are. That's the dragon echoes, is that they're able to feel each other and sense
There
each
you
other
go.
through any.
It was just your mom out there flying around.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
It was just my mom.
He was
All
like, I'll hold your flower, honey.
Maybe
you go
that
get it.
wasn't your real dad.
You're not my real dad.
Your stepdad dragon.
Will say nothing.
Yeah, no,
Hey.
so that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. Yeah,
So then,
yeah. There you go.
Mm.
I appreciate it. Well,
Well, I asked any highlights for John there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I've got a couple. The first time, like that initial Dark Rose or Black Rose fight was very good for me. I do enjoy a lot of the Chillithids and like Sigil time. Like we didn't get, you guys rolled so accurately on like, so I had this whole thing designed because Sigil, like you're supposed to like find the key for the portal. And every single time you found the key, that things like, we'll just do this thing, and you randomly got something that would logically be in that place at the same time.
Yeah.
So true. Yeah.
That matched the world that was it. Yeah.
So we never got to explore a lot of Sigil, but I did like we got to do like Chillithids and the Silvered Bullet were just, I think it was like that's where you coalesced as a group. Like just your conversations and like your thoughts and everything like that was very good. I enjoy when I see you all figuring out the puzzle and the like when Leslie's like, no, we got to hit him at this specific, we've got a time traveling dragon. Let us use that. Let us go. Like, I thought that was just pure genius of like, yep.
Well, and you all misunderstood what point I was
No,
talking
we totally
about.
did.
And then I was like, and then you were like, maybe we should do it then. I was like, that's what I've been saying.
Yeah, we were not following along. Clearly
so
not.
Funny. But yeah.
Yeah, this has been one of my favorite, like just the comedy and the chemistry is just like off the charts. It was so much fun this season. Like it was very, very good. I'm excited to see what happens down the road. But I think that's going to be it for Dragon Echoes, Tales from Troll Skull in 2025, 10th year anniversary.
Wow.
March 9th, we've got Vancouver Fan Expo, Comic-Con, Breakout, Toronto Fan Expo. Like we got a lot happening. But yeah, stay tuned for more stories. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much, everybody, for playing. Drink some water, hug a family member, chosen or actual. And yeah, I love you all, love each other, and we'll see you next season.